After so much curiosity, of which I can't thank you enough for, the World Cup 2018 is finally here. And before we dip our toes in Russia, if you haven't already, you better start rushing around. Like, subscribe, and enjoy the ride. The wait is finally over. We touch down in Moscow as Russia return to the World Cup for the first time in 16 years. It's taken the responsibility of hosting their own tournament to do so. They'll certainly feel the pressure of Putin from the podium watching on. Saudi Arabia also compete in their first World Cup since 2002. Let the butchering of many player names commence as the FIFA World Cup of 2018 is underway. As Gazinski spreads the play to Samedov. Al-Sharani thinks he has him, but then he doesn't. Smolov makes an essential first touch and fires it into the roof of the net with his second. Russia are underway. 3 minutes into their own World Cup. Fyodor Smolov compliments Alexander Samedov's creation, and I think Hasawi was a little too relaxed. And his challenge on Smolov. Always satisfying when the crossbar is spanked on the way through, the same way your wife is on the bottom when you cross paths in the house. Gizinski. Now Denis Cheryshev was the hero off the bench in the first game. Smolov tries to subvert the opener by passing it into the goal net this time. Artyap is bullied to the ground by Golovin. He stayed down. Russia don't care. They're going to launch a pincer attack on the Saudi Arabian. Smolov goes around him. It's a goal. And it looks like the brand spanking new VAR is experiencing technical difficulties. Or perhaps the referee is experiencing difficulties in giving a damn about what happened to Abdullah Attaf. The party continues in the pouring rain here in Moscow at the Lizhniki. Fyodor Smolov gets his brace, this time with the left foot, and all he needs now is to get a third with the skull, and it's the perfect hat-trick.
The referee has indicated there will be a minimum of
Zubnin,
3 minutes.
3 minutes to be added on, and Russia are looking for a third before the game. Takes a 15-minute recess, Golovin begins the burial process for Saudi Arabia. It's looking a lot like art is beginning to imitate life. Russia are setting the bar for Group A. Ties it. Farhad goes down, clutching at the shoulder. It's a red for the Russian, Ignashevich. The Saudis would have gave the referee hell to pay if he fails to deliver a consequence this time. 2 players going down. Although this time he seems a little harsh on Ignashevich. Salim brings it down to Hatem. Do your job! Ooh, it's fired like an arrow straight at Akinfeev. The ball travelled like it was on a zip line. Here comes Hatan Berebri. It looks as though the Russians are beginning to lose their shape a little bit at the back of Salman. Al-Faraj has rescued a vital goal for Saudi Arabia. And now they've established that they can score. And it was an excellent run, worth the recognition. Salman Al-Faraj. Zerkov squeezes the cross in. Smolov improvises with the ninja kick, finding the side netting. Here comes a long pass over the top, probably the last one of the game for Saudi Arabia so far. Hatan! And it's tipped over the bar by Akinfeev. Saudi Arabia seeking damage control. It's gone through the legs of Kurtiev. That would have been something. A tremendous success for Putin's ponies. Will Mother Russia rise again? So far so good. It is Russia 3, Saudi Arabia 1. Fortunately for Egypt, their superstar Salah will start in the Ekaterinburg on his birthday nonetheless. The man who brought Egypt here with the very last kick of their very last World Cup qualifier from the penalty spot has a chance to redeem himself for a spoiled final in Kiev with a World Cup debut. Caceres testing El Shanawi at the near post. Suarez. It's a good pass to Stuani, who stands in for Cavani, drops his shoulder. He's detected by the goalkeeper. First real piece of pressure on El Shaarawy. Christian Stuani could have got Uruguay off to a flying start. Whipped in and it's fell at the near post and it's somehow gone across the face of the goal like a force field was there from Luis Suarez. And there's why he gets the goalkeeper on the pelvis. Bentancur with a piece of golden space here. What a deflection! And even more importantly, what a reaction from El Shaarawy. Uruguay were fated for their first goal on a cruel deflection. That's a Spider-Man style save from El Shaarawy. Look at the way he adjusts in midair. El Said refusing to be brought down. Here is Mohamed Salah, the man of the moment. It's a gutting miss. The man needs all the confidence in the world at the moment after what he's been through. Laid back from Stuani, returned by Nandez. Stuani, and it's a tap-in for Luis Suarez. He has some making up to do for the way his last World Cup ended. But he scored in his third World Cup in a row. Let's just hope they've kept him well fed this time. It would be a quiet World Cup if Luis Suarez behaves himself as far as he's concerned. It's a pass over the top. It's nodded away by the captain Godin. El Neni. Marcin lays it off for Trezeguet. He got a little too excited. In fact, he has fudged it. And now here's Suarez. He slips it through to Stuani. Larksalt directly to Luis Suarez, the goal scorer. Vecino. Now Stuani. And finally, he is rewarded for his perseverance just before the break. Justifies his start ahead of the legendary Cavani. He's nudged in by the goalpost, but I don't think it matters nonetheless because Christian Stuani has finally beaten El Shaarawy. Trezeguet traversing up the left-hand side. Shafi. Salah with a volley. A wonderful finish that should come as no surprise to our Premier League viewers. Well, I think that's written off any concerns of Kiev traumatizing the superstar Salah. Magic Mo fires Egypt back into the encounter with the two-time world champions. 3 minutes left of stoppage time, and here comes Salah exploding on the right-hand flank, and it's a sitter, somehow suppressed by Muslera. Salah drills it up the line to Marcin. He's turned Jimenez inside out, and look at that Salah slipping in through the middle. And 10 out of 11 times he'd tip him off to bury this in the top corner, and he's overdone it. Cáceres is backwards to Torreira. Bentancur across the face of goal, drilled in by Suarez for his brace. Uruguay are in profit. Uruguay are the nation that have gone the longest since winning their last World Cup. And if anybody can change that for them, it's this man, Luis Suarez. His 9th goal in World Cup history. El Neni. It's a gentle layoff to El Said. It's flapped away by Muslera. Undesirable clearance from Nandez. Salah! There's a goal worth risking, worth re-injuring your shoulder to score. Who cares about the landing? Who needs rotator cuffs? Who hates Sergio Ramos? It doesn't matter anymore. Mohamed Salah has got his World Cup moment. A spectacular overhead volley to unnerve Uruguay. The man who brought them to the World Cup, the man who's determined to keep them there. Single-handedly serving Egypt's best interests against Uruguay. Ten minutes left for Egypt to send this game back to 0. Here comes Marcin, going a long way round. Somehow Muslera figures out a way to prevent that from crossing the goal line. Cavani slamming on the brakes, and Suarez is at the far post, smashes it against the framework. Cavani. Sanchez lays it off to Cavani, who hits it first time. Too much power from the substitute. Uruguay have held on, and they were taken on a roller coaster. As match day 1 climaxes in Group A. Liverpool's future outdone by Liverpool's past. It is Egypt 2, Uruguay 3. We haven't had to wait long for our first marquee match of the 2018 World Cup. It is the European champions Portugal, who take on their Iberian neighbours, Spain. It's unlikely to live up to the drama of the real 3-3 thriller in Sochi. But when two of Europe's finest come head-to-head, the eyes of the world are on them. Spain were the first of the two bordered, underachieving nations to lift the World Cup. How can Portugal follow suit? Costa casually laying off to Iniesta. Nice shot from Revolutionize, caught by Patricio. He's got a deep cross in and is punched away by Patricio. It's more like a slap. Luckily for him, Sergio scuffs the finish. Ronaldo, still Ronaldo. Defiant save from De Gea. And Willian has it plucked out of the sky by De Gea. Alba, back to Iniesta, resists the urge for the cross, and Costa is tucked it in for Spain's opening goal just before the break. And it's chopped out. Offside, says the referee, and by a country mile. Not sure why he's so emotional about it, he only has himself to blame. Thiago, Costa, Iniesta, Spain moving the ball in proactive efficiency, and it's Alba! He's hit the post, but he makes amends with a follow-up, sticks his head on the line literally before it's kicked off of his shoulders. Jordi Alba, full back or centre forward, can't make his mind up. Over 20 minutes remaining, Spain have taken the lead over the European champions. Ricardo Quaresma, one of the saviours of Portugal's Euro 2016 campaign, has found Paredes, who shut down at the near post. Corner kick to Portugal. João Moutinho carrying the cavalry forward. Paredes again shut down by De Gea. 8 minutes left for Portugal to save face. Ronaldo has laid it up to Quaresma. It's yet another chance going begging for Portugal. Spain tasting the pressure now, they're holding on. Swung in at the near post, De Gea! Holding the peace, the demons of the real encounter in Sochi this time. He practically bounces it off the back of the skull of Ronaldo. And Adrian Silva is there just to escort it over the goal line like an ambitious floppy fish. Hardly the most graceful of World Cup equalisers, but Andre Silva will take it. Busquets, Iniesta, there's 4 short minutes, but 4 more minutes to enjoy as he's going. Has fired Spain back in front. All the drama is emerging very late in the game. The playful playmaking pair of Iniesta and Isco combine for the ultimate prize, the bragging rights of a lead over the European champions Portugal. Spain will have another go at holding on, this time with 3 minutes left of the game to play. Moutinho, Bernardo Silva holding his nerve, meets up with Rafael Guerreiro on the left hand flank. Guerreiro across the face of goal, and surely Andre Silva just has to stick his leg out for a gentle tap that deals a disheartening blow to the Spanish. A stoppage time equaliser to cancel out La Roja's slender lead. Guerreiro sends this whistling across the face of the goal like a torpedo. It's diverted by yet again the super sub Andre Silva. Not quite the 3-3 thriller in the real game, but it's pretty damn close. This time a 4-goal thriller, 3 late goals and 2 dramatic equalisers by the substitute Andre Silva. It is Portugal 2, Spain 2. It is Morocco's first World Cup in 20 years, so they've got a lot of making up to do. Iran, coached by Carlos Queiroz, who led South Africa and Portugal to World Cup qualification in previous years. Al Hamadi Amrabat. Christopher whips one in. And Al-Kabi is in the right place, right time, wrong type of touch. Here's Ibrahimi. He's found the feet of Sadar now. Can't decide which side is his best side. That's the one, that'll do. Sadar Osman has put the Persians on the podium. Iran lead Morocco after 15 minutes in St. Petersburg. After some undecisive footwork, it's a nice shimmy. Brilliant finish. Sadar Osman, who plays his football in Russia for Ruben Kazan, puts Iran ahead. Yahan Bashish. Still Yahan Bashish. Yahan Bashish! Jeez Louise! Yahan Bashish! With a wonderful solo goal. If you smell what Morocco is crapping. Yahan Bashish sending Ziyech sliding out of the picture like a Looney Tunes cartoon. It's a Captain Tsubasa style Tsar bomb in St. Petersburg. What a goal! I'll leave it to Yahan Bashish with a nomination for goal of the tournament. Look at the energy of Taremi. Doesn't go for the cross, he plays it short to Amiri. Sadar surely has an empty net to pass it into. Osman does everything right. Amrabat has to stall a little bit. There's no red shirts in the box. Busafa. Still Busafa, look at the sturdiness. Yahan Bashish floats it across elegantly, slapped away, and has fallen to Talai for the volley. Benacer linking up with Ziyech. Ziyech! Defiant stop from Beerenvand. There's Yahan Bashish. The Iranian Paynium. Yahan Bashish. And it's Osman. A skillful volley that's well scouted by the Moroccan keeper. And Ferguson's former understudy Carlos Queiroz leads Iran to the honour of being the first Asian side to be victorious at the World Cup since Japan beat Denmark in 2010. It's Morocco 0, Iran 2. Group 3 is Group C. And 20 years after France lifted the World Cup on their own soil, they go head-to-head with the Socceroos of Australia for the first time in World Cup history. Didier Deschamps' Les Bleus restoration project kicked off. In 2014, the Golden Generation came into their own. 2 years ago at their own Euro. And 1 year before that, Australia were the runners-up of the Rugby World Cup. However, they're in their 5th World Cup in football history. If not now, when will Australia dominate the footballing round the same way they do in rugby and cricket? Here comes the great Griezmann flocking down the flank. Here's Dembele with too polite of a volley. Dembele orienting himself on goal. Thread to Talisio, who surprises Ryan with a strike. And Pogba thumps it down into the cuddles of Ryan. Talisio. Mbappe. Knocks it on to Griezmann, sets up for the cross. It's Dembele alone in the centre. His attempt on goal are too tame for Ryan. Hernandez trying to play catch-up with Matthew Leckie. Here comes a cross in. And Juric and Pavard clash heads, and Rodgers clashes with the French fans in the stands. It's actually a powerful volleyball parry from Hugo Lloris. Talisio. Griezmann. Oh, that's on the plate for Mbappe, who assaults the cartilage in Matthew Ryan's kneecaps. Talisio with another chance now. Mbappe slowing down time, but he finds Griezmann just enough space for a very crooked strike. He'll have to wait longer for his first World Cup goal, Antoine Griezmann. Talisio buying his time with Mbappe. It's a lovely flick of the ankle, but fortunately it was rising. Almost looping over Matthew Ryan. Much to the disgrace of Prince Pogba. Good footwork from Mbappe. Dembele with a chance, and he's hit the crossbar. What's it going to take for France? Conte spreads it across the face of the goal to Griezmann. Griezmann, and this one's tipped away by Ryan as well. He's single-handedly keeping Australia alive. Searching past to Giroud. There's a makeshift winger at the moment. Cross across the face of goal. It is converted by Griezmann, who breaks his World Cup goal-scoring virginity in Qatar. It's taken a lot longer than expected for one of the World Cup favourites. But it's the jammiest, the sweatiest, the greasiest of goals from Griezmann. Let's see if he bottled up some of that Euro 2016 spirit and brought it with him to Russia. All or nothing now for Australia. Now here's Rodric. Got to go for it by himself and he can't bring it on target. It's a bad take. We are entering stoppage time. Cahill knocks it on to Robbie Cruz. Access denied to the front entrance of the goal. Well, it wasn't exactly sublime. It's more of a warm-up, a tune-up if you will, for the French. No matter how it's done, a 1-0 victory does convert into 3 valuable points. For Les Bleus, it is France 1, Australia 0. Peru return to the FIFA World Cup for the first time since 1982. Huge moment for the Incas. Peru don't want to be participants, they want to be contenders, and some may consider France as a write-off, but the rest of the group is up for grabs. Jorgensen, Delaney, Poulsen, back to Delaney, and Eriksson is the one who tries to bullet point the move. Excellent triangle passing play from Denmark, and it's Christian Eriksen. He finds out the hard way that the goalpost has a sense of humour. Jorgensen, Eriksson, Versten is Sisto with the golden chance, of which slips through his fingers like sand. Flores with the flair threads it through to Cueva. It's a narrow miss. Cueva, you conniver. Another chance for Cueva. He takes it a little too early. Maybe he underestimated how much time he had. Cueva spreading the ball to Carrillo. Nice little Cruyff turn. Still can't be brought down and foiled by Stringer. What a bullet of a header. Excellent save from Kasper Schmeichel 20 years after his father performed in France 98. He certainly inherited the old man's big hands. Uruguay Poulsen, Jorgensen lays it off to Chris! Nuclear strike from Chris! Denmark have broken through, they've almost broken the frame of the goal. And if Pedro Galese cherishes his extremities, he keeps them to his body, just like a child keeps his arm in a speeding car. It's like a laser pointed at the groin in a James Bond movie. It seems to gather speed off the bony hips of Rodriguez. It's going to be a half-time party for Denmark. Dalgard, Poulsen, beautiful ball into Seastone. It's going to be tapped in by Jorgensen. It's a comfortable cushion for Denmark, and for Peru, it's like laying on a bed made out of Lego. Incredibly unfortunate for Galese. Not much you can do about that. Just Jorgensen, the fox in the box. Tapia, Guerrero, and Christensen gets dizzy chasing his tail. Guerrero punishes him on the world stage. The Peruvian legend. Paulo Guerrero peeling back a layer of Denmark's lead. It's amateur hour in the Danish back line. Peru's first World Cup goal in over 30 years. Paulo Guerrero will take the credit. Dalgard is legging it. Scuffed in the box. Poulsen on the volley. It was a turbulent hit. Flores. Up the line to Tapia. It's a swing without the miss from Paulo Guerrero. Authoritative volley from the Peruvian legend, the former Bayern Munich veteran. The Incas hit the reset button very late in Moldavia. Denmark had their name written all over this game today, but Peru stole a few blocks from the bottom of the Legoland Tower, and the entire structure comes falling down. It is Peru 2, Denmark 2. Argentina must be the most cursed team in international football in the last 4 years. Narrowly defeated in 3 finals in a row. 2 Copa America finals back-to-back against Chile. And of course the very last World Cup final against Germany. It's time running out for Lionel Messi to immortalise his legacy on the international stage. We find out as they take on debutantes Iceland. Magnusson, that's a well-worked ball to Sigurdsson. Finnbogason has stunned the internationally powerful 2-time World Cup winners Argentina. The runners-up of the last tournament have fallen to one of the smallest teams in their very first. They've already humiliated England in front of the world. Argentina are about to be their next victims. Alfred Finnbogason has just written himself into Icelandic folklore. Javier Mascherano. Bilia. He's blown Argentina's first chance on goal. Bjarnason. Shut down by Otamendi. Iceland can redeem themselves and Bjarnason has hit the post. Much more like it, but sadly not good enough. Bilia. Messi. Aguero returns it to Messi, 1-on-1 with Hull Dawson, who stands his ground. Will not be intimidated by the world's best. Goes through his legs, he lays an egg. Almost in his own goal nest. Bilia. Messi, the stutter! And the stunner! From Lionel Messi. Who else? And it's taken 30 minutes for the living legend to announce himself. Another 4 years, another World Cup tournament. Another 6 billion eyes of the world on the feet of the Magic Midget. Nailed it to the wall of the goal net. Here's Goodmanson. Finnbogason. Finnbogason was sailed elegantly, but it's wide. Finnbogason. Savison has all the time in the world for the perfect cross. Oh, the perfect cross it is indeed. It's Finnbogason. Claims a dreamlike brace against a mammoth Argentinian side. A portion of this squad are part-timers. Look at what they're accomplishing against Argentina. The smallest ever nation to participate in the World Cup has a lead over one of the biggest. Well, that turned Alfred Finnbogason into an overnight star. Switching the play to Salvio. Salvio early crossing, it lands in the lap of Lionel Messi! And he's passed it into the top corner with ease. Less than 10 minutes into the second half, and Argentina reset the scoreboard and removed the dreamlike lead of the Icelanders. Didn't take long for him to get his first 2 goals of the 2018 World Cup. Sigurdsson, Finnbogason, and don't forget he's on a hat-trick against Argentina nonetheless. Just imagine that for a moment. Higuain draws it back up the line to Eva Banega. Here's Pavon. Oh, fancy footwork. He's very fast-footed. Lets himself down with the erratic finish. There's tension all around the stadium here in Moscow. Iverson can claim a winner. Sigurdsson's bursting on through. Otamendi trying to drag this heavy leg to keep up, and Willy Caballero finally backs him up. Higuain resists the urge to shoot. Tagliafico stepped away for a corner. There's Di Maria. Scoops up the dice in the hand. This last roll for Argentina. And Salvio rolls a 1. Really not a bad compromise for Iceland in their first ever World Cup. A draw against the Argentinians is almost as sweet as a victory. Celebrating with a famous Viking thunderclap as it echoes around the stadium. It is Argentina 2, Iceland 2. 20 years ago, Croatia reached the dizzying heights of 3rd place and took bronze medals home in France. Little would the Costa know how their tournament would turn out after their real-life winner against Nigeria in their opening game Let's find out if the checkered ones can repeat the momentum against the returning Super Eagles. Galia with a very aggressive advance of Croatia. Iwobi runs out of road. No choice but to accept the corner. There's the veteran John Obi Mikel across the face goal, surely Iwobi. With for some reason the bizarrely chosen wrong foot. Practically given a free slap to the face of the Croatians. Zirkic cushions it on the chest. Draws it against the post. And there's a scramble. None of the Croatians could convert. There's the first warning sign fired at Nigeria from Croatia. Mario Mandzukic with an almost instinctive insemination of the Nigerian goal. Andre Kramaric arriving to the party a little too late. Ivan Rakitic buys his time to Kramaric. It's Rebic, who draws it way past Azuho. And the future Milano maestro has gave Croatia the long-awaited lead just shy of an hour. It's a gloriously confident finish. Now Nigeria will regret some of those life decisions earlier on in the game. This Perisic, if anyone is going to give Nigeria a run for the money in the pace department, it's going to be him. It's a second, and this time punted in off the head of Marco Bijaka. Croatia approaching the home stretch of the game. A fantastic heading goal. Always appreciated. Marco Bijaka. 8 minutes left for Nigeria to commence their rescue mission. Ignacio is going to take it all by himself in the near post. It's flung up into the air by Subasic in goal. Kovacic. Well, he ignores the initial opening. He goes for it all himself. Why not take the glory? Croatia now have a point for every single goal they've scored in their first game. Mateo Kovacic contributes to the confidence boost that the Croatians will gladly take against Argentina in their upcoming game. Not much to accomplish from the set piece now, except extra damage to Nigeria's goal difference. Luka Modric will maybe send the Croatian fans home happy. Not quite. Well, one of the World Cup's great dark horses. Indigo Dream starts and eclipse Argentina at the top of the table as Croatia 3, Nigeria 0. For a team that's won as many World Cups as Brazil have, or most, it's rather surprising they've gone this long without adding to their collection. Still though, they have the honour of another exceptional record, the only team to qualify for every single World Cup. And in Switzerland's defence, they haven't missed a tournament since qualifying in 2006. Here is Neymar. The elastic touches making the ball appear like it's glued to his feet. An early test of Sommer's gloves, or rather his grip. Shaqiri. Seferovic with the give and go. So Vernon Shaqiri pokes it through to Seferovic. And Switzerland have the dream start against the World Cup favourites Brazil. And the Brazilians are looking at each other as if to say, how did this happen? We're not supposed to go a goal down against the Swiss. Well, my friend, reality sets in. It's Thiago Silva who's lost track of Seferovic for an easy blow to the jaw. Back to Casemiro. Coutinho cuts inside. Will he unleash? Nice and soft for Sommer. Willian helped on through to Neymar. It's a strong hit, good save. Zuba sweeps up at the far post. Zimali passes the baton to Seferovic. He's alone for now, waiting for the backup from the Swiss. As they approach with caution, but Zimali's gone through. And Alisson makes himself as big as a bright yellow school bus to shut down Somali, because Brazil was about to be in deep trouble. The white guardian angel known as the crossbar watching over Alisson for his safety, and Marcelo breaks his nose, defending the rebound. Jesus cuts inside, the cross is suppressed. Coutinho just trying to orient himself. Well, it's not quite the spectacular opener he scored against Switzerland in the real game. Low and hard this time, but perhaps too much power, too much aggression, too much desperation. Paulinho, Casemiro back to Paulinho, and here's some space for Jesus. It's the first time went across to Coutinho, who squanders a practically open goal. As Big Smoke would say, you chose the wrong leg, fool. Shaqiri going to make it first, and he actually has a stab first time. Trying to catch Alisson out with the element of surprise. Jesus. Marcelo in the advanced position. Marcelo finds the wrong side of the goal net, and it sounds like Manuel Akanji has found the wrong side of the ball. Penalty kick to Brazil. Basilisha being handed a lifeline in Rostov-on-Don. Very late from Akanji. Will Neymar do it on the penalty spot? Neymar to put Brazil ahead. Switzerland survive, and Neymar has become Nomar. Zamali handing the rope down the tower to Seferovic. Yeah, it was pretty desperate. It's a soft one, luckily for Alisson. Willian, look at the run that he's going on. No, he slips. No, he hasn't slipped. It's been deemed an assault by Seferovic. Switzerland's goal-scoring hero could become the villain. He's gave away the penalty. It's a pointless trip from Willian, or is it a dive? On second viewing, that is controversial. Will Neymar release himself of the burden? Nomar. He's been renamed to Yeymar. He gets his moment, and the burden is off. They've scrubbed half of the pressure away now. All level with Switzerland. 1-1. Neymar returns to the World Cup with a goal in the first game. Zakaria sends it into the mixing bag, and that's just bobbled wide by Seferovic. Almost redeems himself for giving away the penalty. Against Marcelo. Doesn't opt to shoot. Marquinhos finds the way around, and now he's hit the bar. It's the same piece of woodwork that Zamali found earlier. Neymar pokes it on first time, not the best cross. Firmino thwarted by a spectacular save from Sommer. Have you ever seen swerve on a header like this? I'd be pleased with myself too if I was Jan Sommer. I don't think anybody expected a stalemate like this. Both South America's elite, Argentina and Brazil, draw on match day 1 against underappreciated European opposition. It is Brazil 1, Switzerland 1. Now Costa Rica and Serbia have to decide amongst themselves who wants the top spots. In the group with Switzerland holding the favourites Brazil to a draw. Costa Rica were of course the underdog darlings of the last World Cup, and a new world-class goalkeeper was discovered. Gamboa leading the march for Costa Rica. It's across the face of goal, and Brian Ruiz has missed a sitter. Opens up for a strike for Matic, but he ignores it. Here is Milinkovic-Savic. Pins it along the surface into the net. It's an easy opening goal for Serbia. It's been 8 long years since South Africa, and they mark their return with a goal after just over 10 minutes. It's a man that's got Europe talking, Sergej Milinkovic-Savic, playing peekaboo with the defender and poaches the opener for the Serbians. It's a corner kick to Serbia. Can they make it 2 goals in 20 minutes? And they do, and this time it's the Nemanja Matic. Authoritative header from the Manchester veteran. It's a header that comes from quite a way out in that penalty area. He's even helped in off the goalpost, which is never a bad thing. Gamboa drilled across the face of goal, and it's de Guzman, who seems to get a little bit shy when the spotlight's on him. Mitrovic. Would have been a wonderful lofty pass into the top corner if it was on target. Calvo pinged in. De Guzman Another chance. And again, unable to find the target. Mitrovic knocks it down. And there's all kinds of chaos, but Ivanovic is going to be the man who tips the antique vase onto the floor and watches it break in the Costa Rican goal. Serbia's Premier League alumni, both on the score sheets. Francisco Calvo cuts inside very nicely. It's another low cross, and this time it's Joel Campbell. Arsenal fans will no doubt recognise him, the former gunner. Gives Costa Rica a little bit of insurance. And the deceit lies in the first touch. Sergej Milinkovic-Savic. There's a bit of fortune on the cross. A bit more pressure. Matic! Oh, that went screaming across the stadium in Samara. Crazy deflection. Look at the speed this hits the crossbar on. Doesn't cross the line though. 3 goals, 3 points for Serbia, and they surpass Brazil and Switzerland to the top of Group E. It is Costa Rica 1, Serbia 3. Maybe the F in Group F stands for finally. Finally, the champions have arrived in the venue where they not only begin their tournaments, but one where they wish to end their tournament and resume their World Cup dominance. The champions of 2014, the current holders, must embark on their Russia 2018 odyssey with a win against their fateful underdogs Mexico. They themselves have an excellent crop of hungry young talent influenced by the experience of previous tournaments. Here's Julian Dressler. Dressler cuts inside and tries to curl in a cute one, perhaps inspired by Philipp Lahm's opening game for Germany 12 years ago. Müller marching down the touchline. It's Müller now across the face of goal, and surely it's a sitter for Werner. As the pass comes in too slowly for him. Vela trying to release Hernandez, but Hernandez gets a second chance. It is a goal, but it's offside. It's only just, that's the important part. Javier Hernandez trying to draw Boateng in. Gets rid of him, now here's Carlos Vela. The excitement sees him. Khedira. Özil. Look at the space for Werner. Turbo Timo Werner streaks in to his very first World Cup with a goal. It's taken 20 minutes for him. And may the World Cup legacy of the lightning kid from Leipzig begin. Drilled in with the lace of his boots. Okora doesn't stand a chance. Germany seeking to break the champions' curse once and for all. It's Tony Kroos. Werner. Eagerly helped on to Thomas Müller. It's just another World Cup for Thomas Müller. Just a matter of time before Thomas the Tank Engine pulls into the station. Germany surely opening the floodgates now. What a hit from Thomas Müller. It's now or never for Mexico to get back in the game. Özil turns, spots Timo Werner. Oh, he's leapfrogged the defender. It's Werner! Excellent reflexes from Okora. Comes out as soon as he smells the danger. Özil into the centre to Goretzka, who takes an early taste of the goalpost. Here's Thomas Müller, goes down, and it's going to be a penalty for Germany. A chance to whitewash Mexico once and for all should the conversion come this way. Yellow card for Hector Moreno. Hell of a collision in the penalty area. Thomas Müller to get his brace. Perhaps we're about to get a Roberto Carlos impersonation. What the? Well, it worked! It was unorthodox to say the least. If you ask me, it was more like Zaza taking a penalty with motor neuron disease. Maybe Akara was so disgusted he didn't want to touch the ball after a freak like Thomas Müller touches it. Nonetheless, a big 3-0 to Germany. Werner and Lux. Thomas Müller again across the face of goal, and it's a simple tapping for Özil. Mexico losing heavily in the Luzhniki. And it's the frightening Germany of old. What a return to the World Cup for die Mannschaft. Müller fed it on to Timo Werner. Back to Thomas Müller. Fancy footwork, and he's drilled it into a goal for the hat-trick. Mexico rolls. Thomas Müller bows to the echoes of the Deutschland delight. The adoration being showered on him all around the stadium here in Moscow. There's two with the right and one with the left. Thomas Müller with the trio. Germany not settling for a famous 5. Here comes Mario Gomez, the veteran. Swung in towards Goretzka for a 6. 6 sensational goals against Mexico. It's 6 because it's sickening. Nauseating long game for the Mexicans. Leon Goretzka joins Timo Werner in the Debutants Goal Scoring Academy. Timeless Thomas Müller, of course, awarded the Telstar 18 ball to add to the Museum of Müller. Mexico have some urgent post-war reparations to attend to before they face South Korea next, but it's Germany 6, Mexico 0. The only thing people seem to have to say about Sweden is the fact that they are attending this World Cup without Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Well, I'm sure Sweden want to tell their own story about how they don't need him. But the team is more important than the outspoken striker. They take on the 2002 semi-finalists, South Korea. Good reflexes at the near post from Olsen. Good skill from Forsberg to create an opening for the cross by Victor Claesson. It's just nodded it into the hands of the goalkeeper. It's Claesson who turns. He's got the entire pitch to himself. Oh, just think what a goal that could have been. Shot, switching the play. Lee Jae-sung. Hwang Hee-chan sends the ball screeching across the face of goal. On it on to Son! Well, he passed it past Olsen. And unfortunately, the frame of the goal is laughing at him. Gift-wrapped chance for South Korea. First time free pass from Ekdal to Toivonen. And Sweden, 3 minutes into the second half, have their go-ahead. Sweden score, and they've done it without Lord Zlatan. It's just a report Sweden needed. Great start through the remaining 45 minutes. Ola Toivonen 3 minutes after the break. Ekdal turns it into Guidetti. He has Marcus Berg to the right, and it is Kim Shin-wook. Kim Sim-young. Now in his Son. Much better move from the Tigers. Genius pass to release Lee Sung-woo. It is a brilliant stretch from Olsen. The threat still looms. Son is cut out by Grönqvist. Still Claesson, the danger is still alive. Sweden have sealed the 3 points. They join Germany at the top of Group F. And the second half comes full circle. They bookended the second period of the game with goals. It's Forsberg at the near post. Brilliant header. And they set up a crunch against Germany in Sochi. Well, I think Sweden have gave their media something different to talk about other than Zlatan's omission. It is Sweden 2, South Korea 0. Belgium's golden generation emerged at the last World Cup in 2014. Came to an abrupt stop in the quarterfinals against Argentina. This time around they have 4 more years of international experience. And they'll be looking for a fast start against tournament debutantes, Panama. Huge moment in their history after 10 failed World Cup qualifying campaigns. Finally hit the jackpot of reaching their first ever finals. There's Eden Hazard, Cruyff turn here. And Hazard goes down. And Roberto Martinez's arms go up. Is this a penalty? He actually gets the ball, it's just that Hazard runs into the defender. Barcenia showing no fear against the Red Devils. There's a cut inside, he's still holding on! He wails it across the face of goal. Luis Rodriguez was waiting at the far post, perhaps he should have squared to him. De Bruyne, that's a powerful hit. Excellent save by Pinedo. Panama have lasted 34 minutes without conceding a goal, and they certainly weren't going to break that record now. He's found a header for Marlon! Excellent clearance. The corner for Belgium into the mix this time. It's thrown away. Now here's Carrasco. Alderweireld, he's found Witsel! He's slotted it just between the legs of Pinedo. Belgium breathe a sigh of relief. They've peppered Panama throughout the first half. It's amazing it's taken this long for them to find their breakthrough. Want to know why I've been calling him Alex? Because he looks like this. That's not Axel. That's his disfigured twin brother. Meunier squares it to Carrasco. He tries to curl. Oh, that would have been gorgeous. Lukaku. Well, him and Carrasco playing hot potato with the ball. Witsel. Lukaku. Laid off to De Bruyne. Back to Lukaku. It's more like a training ground drill. That was a fun goal. Textbook passing, keeping the Panama defenders chasing. Tiring. I'm sure some of you remember those insane goals against Spain. He's frozen the fans in fear, as you can see in our Euro 2016 campaign. Lukaku, when he gets going, he's a beast. And he could be Belgium's secret weapon against England as the group concludes. And he battled Godoy. Godoy! Sticking the pass to Courtois. Panama still have life in them yet. Lukaku's done well to roll the space, and he's just clipped the crossbar. Diaz with the late cross in. Panama hit the post. Hazard slithering in between the Panamanian defenders. Lukaku taps it in the close range for his brace. I think it's fair to say 3-0 is quite a modest score for Panama. Could even be considered a successful score, depending on who you ask. Belgium could have doubled this lead by now, if Pinedo wasn't in the mood he's in. Well, you Lukaku lovers are getting a treat tonight. Belgium gave Panama a warm welcome to the World Cup. Gave them a tour of the pitch. Spent a lot of time showing them the goal frames. It's Belgium 3, Panama 0. England fans have waited patiently for their turn to kick off their World Cup campaign. Maybe they're not very bothered at all. Maybe the expectations are at an all-time low. Gareth Southgate famously inherited the job at short notice after Big Sam's dismissal, but has since found himself appreciated by the FA. England and Tunisia reunited at the World Cup for the first time in 20 years since their 2-0 loss to the Three Lions at France 98. Here's Kaziri with a pacey early cross. Excellent save at the near post by Pickford on the volley. Rajani Sassi almost securing a stunning opening goal for Tunisia. Brown collected by Kaziri. Again, Pickford made to work to clear it away. There's Dele Alli. Jesse Lingard. Beautiful pass to Kane. And the captain opens the scoring. England's spiritual Golden Boot winner. There's his first investment into repeating the accomplishment. Pure Harry Kane finish. First World Cup goal for the Big Red Machine, Kane. Raheem Sterling has a big wall of big Tunisian players in front of him. He needs backup. He's got Dele Alli to the right. He rescues it by squaring it into the centre to Jesse Lingard. It's a welcomed early advantage for the Three Lions. I think everybody sat at home was expecting a struggle against the North Africans. England marking their territory. And the Tunisians, they've matched the World Cup 98 score against the Eagles of Kafage. Aziri switching the play to Brown. More than enough time for a cross. Young can't get there. The Stones absorbs Kaziri's energy. The Tunisian captain goes down clutching the shoulder. Be a big blow if they lose him. Lingard. It's Sterling. He's turning and running. Loses the ball, but it's survived by Dele Alli. Boys, this crossbar's seen some action at this World Cup so far. Young squares it to Dele Alli. Here's Raheem Sterling. Kane. Excellent play from England. And Sterling deserves a goal. Lingard. Kane. Beautiful first touch. Excellent second. And a nice third from the goalpost. Loftus-Cheek. Young. Back to Ruben. Would have been a wonderful welcome to the tournament off the bench from Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Anderson. Dele Alli. England looking for the trifecta. It's Alli on the volley. And Sterling surely can follow up. No, he's too slow. Kieran Trippier battling it out. With Mariah on the side of the pitch. Kane! 3 points for the Three Lions. England's first World Cup win in their opening game since 2006 against Paraguay. And Harry Kane scores the inaugural 2018 goal for England. It is Tunisia 0, England 2. It may be the end of match day 1, but the end has a start, and the start is the group of life as Colombia take on Japan. Just like Costa Rica, Colombia were the other 2014 World Cup darlings. Rather daredevils, the audacious goal from James Rodriguez turned him into a star. Real Madrid pulled dibs on both him and Keylor Navas. And every 4 years for Japan, they strive to be the first Asian team to win a World Cup. Are they going to get any closer this year? Well, Cuadrado has just run into a brick wall called Inoue. Beautiful pass to Kagawa! Can he make it pay off? And in 2 strikes at the ball. Their beautiful releasing free pass. And of course, Shinji Kagawa. She, the samurai, has enticed Japan's World Cup dream. 5 minutes before the end of the first half. And it's an emphatic first-time finish. To float it over the carcass of a Spinia. Quintero. Back to Lima. Sanchez. An urgent knock on to Falcao. Gets a taste what Karishima's gloves are made of. He's just driven in by Quintero. Sanchez collects, trying to orient himself. Almost a tap in, but Shoji was on goalpost guard duty. Credit to the legendary Karishima for the initial save. Inoue. Here you go, Shibisaki. He doesn't want it, gives it to Honda. And Ospina very quickly off the block. It's Falcao. Muriel. Poor clearance from Sakai, and it's Quintero, who will soak up the benefits. Japan so characteristically disciplined for so long, and it's been undone. From an error from Gotoku Sakai. Clearly wants to clear it, but decided to wrap it up in a gift and pass it to Quintero. Japan coming forward though, they're trying to shake off the shame of conceding late. Shoji contemplates a goal, it's an open goal, surely for Honda! Japan's journeyman playing in his 3rd World Cup in a row has heroically rescued 3 points. Sakai ought to kiss him on the buttocks when they get to the dressing room. Keisuke Honda, the AC Milan alumni. Nothing to lose for the Colombians now. Lamar into the mixing bag, and it's Muriel. He squanders it. He's overdone it. Guilty edge miss. Well, it's not a start to yet another Colombian odyssey, like the experience in 2014, but Japan grabbed their first World Cup win since 2010. It's Colombia 1, Japan 2. The final two go head-to-head on match day 1 of the World Cup. And it's also two resurrections. Poland returned for the first time since 2006 with a whole new generation. Robert Lewandowski's first World Cup, and Senegal, the champion beating sides of 2002. Pichette floating it in at the far post to Kamil Grosicki. What a way to announce your return to the World Cup finals with a goal like this. It's denied by a solitary stud of Ndiaye. Lewandowski volleying it into the breadbasket. Both sets of players dispersed, but they've left Pazdan clutching the knee in the middle of the box. Is his World Cup dream over? 4 minutes into his finals debut. Such a shame. Leander Bednarek will take his place. Play on in his honour. Diouf shares it with Niang. Is back to Diouf. No. Grosicki gets there. And he's brought down. And he stays down. This is the last thing that Poland need. It's going to be another devastating blow. Play is stopped, and Kamil Grosicki, a man who they certainly can't afford to lose. Poland have to make 2 substitutions in the first 20 minutes of the game. A devastating start for the group favourites. And that's a dastardly late tackle from Ndiaye. Here's Zielinski. He finds Milic. Milic, he just couldn't get the ball from out underneath his feet. Ghana. Niang. It's a miracle pass to Sarr. Sarr sent it wide and far. Here's Niang. Diouf returns it to him. Beautiful goal for Senegal. Telepathic passing between Diouf and Niang. It screeches into the top corner. More salt rubbed into the wounds of the Polish. Mbaye Niang joins late Papa Diop in the class of opening goals for Senegal at the World Cup. Niang, oh, it's Diouf. Almost doubling the lead on the hour mark. Somehow, I don't think he was expecting a pass that close to him, that far into Niang's attack. That's a hell of a raffle of a long pass. Well, it pays off! Lewandowski gets the prize! His very first goal in his very first World Cup. The legendary Robert Lewandowski turns some of these Polish frowns upside down. 2 injuries have really bummed out the crowd. That's why he's there. Opportunistic finish, right place, right time. Hopefully the first of many. Such a player deserves several goals in several World Cups. Beautiful cross from Wage, and it's Balde who bounces it off the fingertips of Szczesny. And that one's a stalemate. Well, with the bad luck Poland experienced in that first half, it's a miracle they've even taken anything, such as a point. Far from a gentlemanly draw between Poland and Senegal. It is Poland 1, Senegal 1. Feels like such a long time since we've done a World Cup roundup. Hosts Russia and Uruguay lead Group A. Iran is above both Portugal and Spain. France scored less goals than both Peru and Denmark, but they're still top of Group C. Croatia take advantage of the inspirational Iceland. They are top. Likewise for Serbia, they take advantage of the favourites Brazil squandering against the Swiss. World champions Germany set a terrifying example. A better start for England than anybody expected. And Japan thrive at the top of the group of life. Thomas Muller's hat-trick is the discrepancy ahead of the World Cup 2018 race goal scorers on match day 1. Thank you everybody for your enthusiasm and anticipation of the World Cup 2018. FIFA 18 ain't such a bad game after all. Let me know below if your team is participating in this World Cup, and do you think they have what it takes to get out of their groups? Thank you for watching. I'll see you on match day 2.